here with Maddie Bell at Cincy AI Week, and tell us a little bit about your company and what inspired you to do what you do.
So it has been quite the journey. So I am the CEO of a company called Synapsa, and we actually build an AI pipeline conversion platform. That's a lot of words, but what that basically means is we use AI to intelligently connect buyers with sellers into meetings. And if you had asked me many years ago whether or not I would be doing something like this, I would have laughed at you. In fact, I probably wouldn't have even known what you were talking about. And so our founder journey actually began with a very human insight. My co-founder, who is also my spouse, and I were actually heading home from church one Sunday afternoon, and we had just run into some friends, people we genuinely enjoyed. And we saw them and we said, hey, we need to get together. Now, unfortunately, that was like the fifth Sunday we had said that.
Yeah.
And we got in the car, we had our kids, and I looked at Mike and I was like, by the time we coordinate time between our jobs, our appointments, our kids' schedules, it's a nightmare. Coordinating time is actually not about a calendar. It's actually about a conversation and context. And so that was 4 years ago when we set out to build, at the time, what people hadn't heard of before, which was like AI agents to book meetings. And that kind of kicked off the startup journey. And we started to really dig into this problem. And over time, it evolved, and we learned a lot of things. We learned that the meetings that matter most to businesses tend to be the one that make them money. And we learned that coordinating those meetings, orchestrating those meetings, is a completely different fit, right? You have to instantly engage buyers and prospects the minute they say, hey, I've got a question, I'm interested, I downloaded your stuff. You have to ask them questions to qualify whether or not they're a good buyer or whether or not you're a good fit for them. And then once you have that information, you need to quickly and efficiently get them to someone inside your organization. And if anything happens within that process and the ball gets dropped, businesses actually lose money and they fail to grow. And so we realized that there was actually an opportunity for AI to not harm the buyer-seller journey, but to actually come in and enhance human-to-human connection by instantly and intelligently connecting the right people for the right reasons so that they could move forward and create strategic business growth. And so that's really how we came up with the idea for Synapsa, which is really this idea of removing all of those frictions in the buyer-seller journey so that, again, those humans can really have high-impact meetings that convert to growth.
Well, that's good. Where would Synapsa be without AI?
So it's funny.
Yeah.
We built our AI before AI was widely understood or even known. So literally, there would be no company before AI. And it's really been a unique experience to get to build an AI-first company and to see just the life cycle that we've been through over the past 4 years, right? When this started, we were focused on telling people that AI was this thing and you talk to it and it talks back, right? And then all of a sudden, OpenAI went mainstream and everybody's like, hey, I heard you had a genie. Where's the tricks, right? So then we had to right size their expectations of where to put this technology into play. And we also were able to go on this journey from this idea of AI copilots, right? On command, you do what I say, to AI autopilots, these AI agents that are triggered from our systems to go execute workflows on their own. And because we've been able to see that in real time as it's played out, we've been able to develop and build and be really on the front lines of where the world is using these AI agents to grow revenue. And for our AI agents alone in the past, several months have delivered tens of millions of dollars worth of qualified meetings. And what's really interesting is it's actually not in the ways that are probably most top of mind for people. A lot of people hear AI for marketing and sales, and they think about maybe some of the abuses we've seen with AI, right? This spray and pray, this cold calling, this agent that is popping up in places you don't want them. And I think what people are missing, at least at first, but are starting to see now, is there's so many parts of the buyer-seller journey where we are dropping the ball, where someone is coming in and saying, I need help, I want to talk to someone. And because it's hard for businesses to staff 24/7, 7 days a week across every product line, that buyer friction is a real problem. And when we integrate that AI into those pain points, we're actually able to elevate the role of the seller and elevate the experience of the buyer all at the same time. And I think that's been the key part of a lot of the success that we've seen and the growth that we've seen in the past few months.
Okay, and what are some misconceptions that people have about AI?
You know, it's funny, right? Because a lot of people say, how do you feel about AI? And even now, the term AI, it's like asking someone, how do you feel about computers? Yeah. Right? I mean, this is a tool. And I think, there are lots of emotions that are surrounding it. Some of this is this change. Things are evolving quickly. It's hard to know exactly where you are in the process. And so some people feel unsure. There's the unknown of how does this impact my life, right? So I see that. And I see that in a lot of organizations that we work with. I also see a tremendous opportunity that's also starting to emerge. When you think about AI and the powers for good, right? Enabling people that have not had access to education or who want to operate small businesses and compete with big ones, right? We're now able to allow an entire new group of people to innovate, to create, and to scale businesses that would have been impossible 24 months ago. And so for me, I think with everything, there's tools can be used for good and they can be used for forward purposes. But what I am excited about is really seeing the ways that AI comes in and really reshapes in a good way how people learn and connect and grow businesses.
Okay. Now, what do you think are some of the human skills that AI can't come in and replace?
It's funny. I speak to folks about AI a lot. And one of the things that I just always come back to is the expectations of how work can now get done have fundamentally transformed. There is no question. Right? The CEO of OpenAI has a bet on when the next billion-dollar company will be founded by one single person. And that's not from $1 billion of productivity. That's from $1 billion of revenue that can be generated. So the way in which we're able to grow businesses, I do believe, has fundamentally changed. However, people, the way buyers and sellers connect, the way we operate, our feelings, our emotions, those have changed practically zero. And because of that, because the people themselves haven't changed, then I think the fundamentals of business and how we go to market still remain the same. So the businesses that I see freely transforming their results with AI are the ones that are able to recognize the core fundamentals, the core business drivers, the core strategies and practices and playbooks that work. And then they use AI to galvanize and scale that and deliver a better buying experience at scale. Like, to me, that is the magic. It really is the partnership. And I don't think you can replace those humans really unlocking what it takes to master their core business drivers and build out the right strategies to win versus competition. I think AI gets behind them and elevates the whole business.
Okay, and I understand that you just had a new launch. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so 4 years ago, we started with a pretty focused problem, right? Scheduling meetings doesn't start with calendar, it starts with conversation and context. And that was a great place to start because we had a use case, we had a problem, we had, even in the early days, AI as a new way to think about solving a pretty tough challenge that does require a level of intelligence. And what that really led to was this journey to understand our own buyers and our own market and the people that are working hard to coordinate meetings to grow their businesses, to feed their families, to do all of those things. And what we realized was there is this middle layer, right? Between that moment that someone says, okay, I'm aware, right? They start to raise their hand, and that moment when they actually get in front of the person that can help them, that mid-funnel. In fact, some people would say that 70 to 80% of deals are actually lost in that mid-funnel because the path to purchase is no longer linear. The path to a meeting is not linear. If people are visiting your website, they're doing research, they're downloading your content, you may meet them in an event, but you don't follow up with them for weeks, right? It's just not a linear thing. And so what we're seeing is by placing a layer of intelligence there that's able to capture all of those signals and understand all of that context and use that to then pull through from that moment of highest intent to the moment when two people meet. There's tremendous organizational value there, again, that benefits buyers and sellers alike. And so as we started to see that play out and as we started to see the results come in, we realized that what started out as a very simple idea had actually grown into a really powerful transformation. And so the new brand Synapsa, which literally means instant intelligent connection, is all about going after that bigger opportunity to transform the way people build their revenue and bring in more customers into their business.
Okay. And what do you think the ideal way in the future of merging AI and that human component is?
You know, it's funny. We talk to folks that are on all ends of the spectrum. So there are some people that, you know, they are in a very, like, I tell the AI what to do, it does it. It's a very, you know, on-command relationship. And we have other people that are like, I wish I could just write 3 sentences and then AI would do all the things. And the reality is neither one of those things actually works very well. And the reason for that is when we talk to people, we want to remind them that for managers and business leaders, this whole conversation around AI is really a conversation around managing your team. It's a partnership. And partnership doesn't mean, like if you've ever hired a new hire, that I go up to your desk every 6 seconds and tell you what to do. That would not be a good experience, a good team member if that had to occur. At the same time, it does not mean that I hire someone in my company and say, you know what, just go sell stuff and, let me know when it's done. Right? That would be a disaster as well. It really is this hierarchy, this social hierarchy, this strategic hierarchy, this managerial hierarchy, where yes, there are people at different levels of the organization that set the strategic objectives. They clarify the playbooks and the things that work. And they give clear requirements to that direct report so that it is set up for success to go deliver on a process that manager knows works. That to me is the magic. And so what we do at Synapsa is we provide sales and marketing teams with AI agents that they configure, not through endless if-then workflows, but actually through prompted objectives. So they, as the manager, can come in, clarify what is needed, set the expectations, have the AI go do the work, and most importantly, see how the AI actually does it, right? Make sure that that playbook that you prompted is what's being executed or it needs to be iterated. Because a lot of people think, well, once I set my AI up, then we're good. But the reality is, your business evolves. You as a manager evolve. The ecosystem in which you compete evolves. And so it's a relationship, it's a partnership. And what's really cool about that is we still have so much of our people tied up in these micro tasks with macro impact. These are important things. but they're spending so much time trying to figure out how to wire things and connect things and make templates go and fill out tasks that they're not able to spend time thinking about, man, how do I really want to be talking to my customers? What questions do I really want to be asking them to understand if they're a good fit? Once I'd asked them those questions about their use case, their buying intent, who should they go to? What is the right next step? And what I think is really exciting about this partnership between AI and people is we're now seeing businesses spend more time on that, right? On what is the buyer-seller journey that's going to create a great path to purchase. And then once you got that, yeah, your AI is going to go execute it. And so again, to me, that's the magic, is keeping the humans as the playmakers and the managers, but also allowing the AI to go run faster, quicker, stronger, and actually deliver the plays that win the game.
Wow. Well, what is Maddie's superhero power, the thing that AI cannot replace?
Well, you know, I used to say that AI could set my meetings, but it couldn't remind me to show up to all of them on time. Like without some sort of taser, I'd still be late to meetings. You know, I think for us, you know, we have a US patent on Agentic AI. And again, we've seen it evolve since before day one. So I often think about the relationship that I have with that AI. As that relationship, right, that maybe even a human would have with like the best service dog ever, right? So like, you know, for us, that's our puppy, you know, that started out as a puppy. And every now and then it turned around backwards and peed on the carpet. We're like, oh gosh, puppy, why are you doing that? But we were patient and we built and we trained for years. And it's been so cool to watch that product evolve into something that is now delivering tens of millions of dollars worth of business value, with people saying, wow, I had a better, more magical experience because that product was there, right? Now we have Ren 1010. And so for me, I will always see myself, and our company will always see ourselves as the creators and the artists and the trainers to serve our customers and to create AI that feels magic for them. That's our job. But it gives you a tremendous sense of pride when you see it do it, because you know how much time and effort was spent into every little detail. And I think one of the not myths, but misconceptions that people have is that AI is not software. We liken it to software because we're always going to liken things to what we know. But software is essentially a system of point and click, if-then statements. And what we're moving to is a new world of described and done experiences. Experiences that have to feel human. And for it to feel human, it's not just about getting the answer right. It's also about doing the dance in a way that people say, man, that was magical. The way that was handled was elegant. The way that when I had this problem and it didn't know, was able to bring that person in, felt real. So we spend a lot of our times almost crafting the sculpture, right? It's easy to make an AI agent and chunk giant pieces of the rock at 80%. But that last 20% of really understanding all of the edge cases and all of the contextual human moments, getting those right is what makes it magic. And by the way, that's what makes it work. So I'm excited for the constant evolution from point and click to describe and done through AI that feels magical when it's done right. And believe it or not, some of the most magical AI ever actually feels invisible. Right? It removes friction. It makes people think, wow, it just happened. So again, that's why we meant when we brought in the new name, was we want it to feel invisible, intelligent, and instant, because we think the magic really happens when humans connect.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for taking time to share with us at Cincy AI Week.
Yeah, thank you.